Chapter 78. I Can't Control My Right Hand. Chen was anxious. Holding the mallet in his hand, he wished desperate to knock the door down to see what was written on the piece of paper. According to the school forum, 5 students once broke into Muang High School to play a game of Penn Spirit in the last classroom on a dare. Could the pen and paper have been left behind by them? Chen thought about it and realized that was impossible. According to the post's description, when the 2 extra people appeared in the room, the 5 students were so scared that they escaped as fast as they could. In their desperation to escape, they had to knock over some of the furniture, but all the tables and chairs in the room now were neatly arranged. Of course, that doesn't take away from the possibility that after they left, the furniture was rearranged or the speculation that all 5 were possessed. Chen put his mallet down and decided to save the classroom for last. After leaving the education block, Chen headed for the dormitory. The dilapidated squat building had less than a handful of rooms, and he walked around it for a long time before coming across a faded iron sign. The characters on it were smudged, but Chen believed that it once read, "Second floor is female rooms, no entry to males." This school sure is shabby. After removing his raincoat, Chen dabbed at the rain that had seeped into his collar and was about to carry on when his phone rang. He looked at the caller ID and answered it readily. "Hisan? Boss, I've given my senior your phone number. She said that she would have her father contact you when he's home." "Thank you. Is there anything else?" "Also, that Guang has just started his live stream. Are you sure you're not going to take a look? He hired an actor to play the killer next door, and his opening and even his analysis were a complete copy of yours. I didn't even know from where I should start to complain." "Let him be then, but when I start my live stream in a bit, remember to come support me." "You're starting a live stream?" Hisan's voice shot up several octaves. Chen was gladdened that he had such a loyal viewer. "Since it has been quite long since my previous live stream, I have something exciting planned this time." There was silence on the other end of the phone. Chen could hear shuffling footsteps several seconds later. Hisan seemed to have put on his slippers to run around his bedroom to shake every one of his roommates awake. "It's time to get up to watch the live stream. Yet another bout with death tonight." While Chen was thankful for Hisan's free promotion, but his words did make him feel a bit weirded out. After hanging up, Chen opened up the video sharing app. Guang's Supernatural live stream was heavily promoted on the front page. He clicked on it for a quick look. It was obvious that a full team was behind this production. There was a professional cameraman, and Guang was only responsible for the analysis and looking for clues. Just the comparison of video quality alone could squish Chen like a bug. He definitely could not fault his opponent for having better preparation. 680,000 views. If I had that many views to promote my haunted house, wouldn't the whole park be filled the next day? Live streams and short videos were Chen only way of advertisement, and Guang's featured live stream did point a way for Chen. If he could reach Guang's level of popularity, then perhaps one day the platform would be willing to use so many resources to support him. Chen don't get too far ahead of yourself for now. Focus on the current goal of surviving tonight first. He left Guang's live stream and opened his own. He was stranded at the countryside, so his connection was weak. His live stream video was fuzzy, and there were constant black screens and lag. He could not even see the chat. "My video quality might not be as good as Guang's, but my content is definitely better than his." Since he couldn't see the chat, Chen could not communicate with his viewers. After a brief introduction of Muang High School, he stopped following the live stream. Chen searched through the first floor of the dormitory and came up with nothing, so he moved to the second floor. The female dormitory room looked similar to the male's. The rooms were filled with textbooks and trash. When the school was closed, most of the stuff inside it was not cleared out. Chen looked through the rooms patiently with his flashlight. When he passed through the 4th bedroom on the 2nd floor, he discovered that there were 4 chairs placed neatly in a row inside the room, and several pieces of white paper as well as a ballpoint pen were placed on one of the chairs. The paper and pen looked brand new, so they must have been placed inside the room after the school was closed. This was the second time that Chen had come across the combination of paper and pen. The rusted lock was a mere decoration. Chen merely rattled it several times before it fell away. As the door opened, the smell of mold hit him like a wave. Chen covered his mouth and nose as he walked closer to the chair to look at the pieces of paper. There were 4 white papers in total. The first one read, "When will I die?" The second read, "How will I die?" The third read, "Who will be the next to die?" The fourth was completely empty. The Penn spirit game? Chen ransacked the rest of the room to try to come up with some extra info, but most of the stuff had decayed from time. Since his investigation turned up nothing, Chen turned his focus back on the white paper in the middle of the room. No one could provide an actual explanation behind the Penn spirit game, but the scientific community stresses that it was reasons like breathing, heartbeat, and blood flow that caused the human body to shiver. A simple human without special training would have their arm move after maintaining them in a constant elevated position for a long time. This is a natural bodily reaction that has nothing to do with legends of the Penn spirit. Chen placed the phone on the bed and made sure himself and the 4 chairs were all within view. Since I need to complete all 4 side missions at Muang High School, might as well start with this one. He turned to close the bedroom door. He stood and hesitated for 4 minutes before sitting down and picking up the ballpoint pen. Internally, he told himself not to worry. Chen placed the doll in his chest pocket, and with his right hand holding the pen and left hand holding the mallet, he started the game of Penn's spirit. He tried to remember as many details from the thread that he had read earlier. He raised his arm slightly and straightened the pen so that the tip of the pen touched the white paper. He closed his eyes and started to chant. Penn spirit. Penn spirit, you are my spirit from my previous life, and I am your spirit in this life. If you are with us, please draw a circle on the paper. After chanting, Chen tried to make himself calm down. His arm was suspended over the paper, his body frozen. The rain outside the window continued to fall. The school that was swallowed by the night started to shift imperceptibly. The moldy smell in the room dispersed, and a cold draft of an unknown origin lifted the white paper on the chair slightly. Not long after that, Chen eyes flew open. He had just felt someone grip his hand. Chen stared closely at his right hand while his left hand tightened over the mallet. He would strike the moment things went wrong. Chapter 79. A Chance to Redeem Yourself. A weird smell suffused the cramped female bedroom. The bedsheet that was beyond the light of the flashlight fluttered lightly like something was crawling out from underneath it. Rain droplets fell on the window. A storm was brewing outside, but inside the dormitory room it was eerily quiet. With his arm hanging over the white paper, Chen tried to make himself relax. After chanting the spell to invoke the Penn spirit, there was an obvious pressure on the back of his palm like someone had placed their hand over his. Chen could even feel the chills coming from the other person's fingertips. Penn spirit, you are my spirit from my previous life, and I am your spirit in this life. If you are with us, please draw a circle on the paper. Chen chanted again, and the feeling of iciness on the back of his hand intensified. However, to his befuddlement, the pen in his grasp remained upright. It did not draw a circle or even do anything. The Penn spirit refuses to answer my call? The atmosphere in the room turned palpable with pressure, and the chill from the back of his hand had now spread to his arm. For some reason, I feel like a few more individuals have joined me in this room. Chen focused, and his pupils started to dilate in the dark. Probably due to the yin-yang vision, he could see 3 blurry shadows standing around him with their hands extended to grab the pen in Chen palm. 3 of you? Chen heart skipped a beat, but with a blink, the image that he saw instantly disappeared. However, Chen knew that it did not mean they had left. Chen palm felt like it had been stuck inside a cold water bath. He was certain that there were at least 3 other hands holding the pen in his grasp. 3 individuals answered my call. Is this the effect of my Spectre's favored title? While Chen was trying to figure out an answer, the pen that hovered over the paper suddenly moved. It was slight, but Chen definitely felt it. Is it beginning? The flashlight he placed to his side seemed to have dimmed, and under Chen close scrutiny, the pen in his grasp started to move. The tip of the pen attached itself to the surface of the paper, and with the friction between the paper and the pen, soon a red circle was drawn. Chen knew he did not move, but there was indeed a drawing on the paper. Chen stared at the circle, and he was reminded of this side mission's name, the Penn Spirit who refused to leave. There are 3 taboos to the Penn Spirit game. 1. You mustn't ask about your cause of death. 2. You mustn't ask about your life expectancy. 3. You have to unbind the spirit when you're done. Violating any one of these will lead to horrible consequences. The third was the most serious, because if the spirit was not unbound, it would stay by the person who had invoked it forever until it turned malevolent and killed all the players. Hopefully there is no accident, Chen murmured before shifting his focus back onto the white paper. The red circle was drawn right in the middle of the paper. Sounds like it has heard my voice. It's time for me to ask some questions. Chen was only there to complete the Black Phone's mission. He did not want to try anything stupid, lest he angered the spirit. It is rare to have summoned the Penn Spirit. Chen thought about it and voiced the question that he most wished to know the answer to. Penn Spirit, do you know where my parents are? When he did the bathtub nightmare mission, the people Chen wanted to meet the most were his parents, but his wish had not been fulfilled. However, this did tell him that at least his parents were still alive. They were merely missing. Chen did want to know the answer to this question. However, to his surprise, when he posed this question, the pen in his grasp started to quiver, and there was even a faded crack that appeared on the body of the pen. This was different to what he expected. Is my question that difficult? 2 minutes later, Chen had an uncanny feeling that the room had turned brighter. The pen in his hand started to move again, to draw another circle. What does that mean? Pass? Chen looked at the 2 circles on the paper, and he could sense the Penn Spirit's awkwardness. It did not know the answer to his question either. This is weird, but it does sound like my parents' disappearance is more complicated than it appears. Chen was silent for a long time. Other than this question, he really did not have anything that he was that curious about. So be it. I'll just ask a random question just to get this side mission over with. The chill on his arm had spread to his shoulder. As the game continued, Chen could feel about half of his body starting to get numb, like it was slowly escaping his control. Then I shall switch to a different question. Penn Spirit, can you please tell me who my future wife will be? The pen quivered, and the flashlight flickered as if announcing the arrival of something. The atmosphere in the room started to get nervous again. The window rattled on its hinges, and droplets of rain seeped into the room. Lightning flashed across the sky, and in that split second, there were 4 shadows that were reflected on the wall. Chen felt his hand weaken as the pen in it started to move. Blood-red letters appeared on the white paper, and soon the first character was finished. Shu? Is it Shu Wan? Despite it supposedly being a throwaway question, Chen interest was piqued. The pen in his hand continued moving, but as it was starting to begin the second character, it suddenly stopped moving. What's going on? Chen was a spectator in this whole enterprise. He did not exert any force, but the pen in his grasp began to quiver violently, and more cracks started to form on its surface. Bang! Many forces seemed to be fighting within the darkened bedroom. The ballpoint pen finally crumbled under pressure and cracked. One of the forces seemed to have surrendered. Then Chen saw something shocking. The pen in his grasp crossed out the Shu that was already written and wrote down another name beside it. Zhang. Ya? The name was so perfectly and clearly written on the white paper that Chen did not even know how to respond. Penn Spirit, are you sure this is the name that you intended to write from the very beginning? There was no answer, and the chill on his arm also disappeared. Penn Spirit, are you still with us? If you can hear me, please draw a circle. The feeling of yin energy had dissipated completely, and the room had returned to normal. It seemed like the Penn Spirit had left without saying goodbye. However, for the sake of security, Chen chanted, Penn Spirit, you are my spirit from my previous life, and I am your spirit in this life. If you wish to go, then please go ahead. Chen stood up from beside the chair since the game was already over. Once he relinquished his grasp, the ballpoint pen in his grasp split into several sections. The whole thing just looked sad. My game of Penn spirit sure is different from others. Chenay picked up his phone and realized with a start that his live stream's popularity had surpassed 20,000 views. This was a brand new record for him.